Hi, this is Samantha, and I'm here with my friend Allie.
Hi.
And my friend Martin.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about the musical Hadestown, like a podcast kind of edition type thing, so we can just sort of ramble about everything we like about Hadestown.
Yeah.
So first we're going to start with Allie giving us a summary of Hadestown.
All right, so Hadestown is a musical. It's a Broadway musical that just started touring around USA, and it discusses...
Keep going.
The story follows the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice from Greek mythology, and it starts off with Orpheus meeting Eurydice, and Eurydice is a hungry young girl, and Orpheus is a really innocent boy. And through the story, they learn to fall in love with each other as Hades and Persephone's relationship down in the underworld goes through its rough patches and tries to rebond itself. And soon Eurydice gets caught in a gathering storm, and she dies.
This is excellent. This is so beautiful.
Orpheus doesn't realize it at the time, but soon finds out that she has gone to the underworld and gone to hell. So he chases after her and takes a long trip down to the underworld without actually dying, which might have been easier. But he takes a long trip down to the underworld, finds her, and convinces Hades to take her back up, under the condition that if Orpheus turns around to make sure that Eurydice is there, Eurydice follows him and Orpheus is in front, and if Orpheus turns around to look back at Eurydice gets taken down in the underworld. It's their test of true love and trust in each other. This ends in a tragedy, and we keep on telling it again.
Yeah. And one of the cool things to mention is that it's kind of set in a post-Reconstruction era world, so it's industrial, like heavy emphasis on jazz. Jazz and solo sections of blues keys are predominant in most of the songs. And one of the cool things is that, like, in the Broadway show that's touring right now, they actually have a trombonist who's on stage playing jazz music to all of the songs as part of the pit orchestra, and it's really cool.
It's really cool in the like sense that like the show is so well constructed, and I remember when they said they first made it, like it wasn't even supposed to be like purposely like that, and it's just started becoming like a New Orleans thing. And it's like we're not breaking the fourth wall, but in a sense we're acknowledging the band the entirety of the show. Like there is a point where Persephone is full on just like introducing all the band members and what they play, and that is just super cool.
And with this musical, there isn't the band isn't in the pit and the orchestra isn't in the pit. Everybody is out on stage for the whole entire duration of the musical, which is really cool to highlight everybody's unique talents and to show what's playing at the time.
Right.
And then, like, one way that they organize it is they never close the curtains at all, but they manage their lighting and the moving of stage props so that they continue to keep the energy moving and use the changing in stage and the changing in light levels as scene changes and as part of the choreography. So nothing feels out of place and nothing kills the energy. The energy remains constant and builds throughout the entirety of the show.
It kind of it's really cool because it kind of shows the importance of like technical theater and theater, like just acting on stage. And like I take drama, and we were talking about that once, like how much money like can do for a show because they have a rigging system, they have a turntable, like it just makes the show so much smoother.
And it's really interesting to see the adaptation of the original cast, who had their own stage, in which the very middle of the stage would go down, like below the stage level, to show that said person is going to the underworld. But in the touring cast, there's special doors that were built in the back of the set. So it's really interesting to see how they adapted all those things to show when somebody goes to hell, and to see how the stage changes when the scene is in the underworld versus when it's on Earth.
And they did on the touring cast, they didn't use the same drop down thing, but they did use a lot of like dry ice smoke that really gave a nice aura to the stage. It made it seem like it was snowing without having like snow dumping on all the actors, and it made it seem like steam and mist, and was really atmospheric, and even was at some points just obscuring the actors to make them seem like they were disappearing, and was really, really phenomenal.
Even in the lighting, like, because you were just talking about the smoke, like, you could tell when it was spring. And, like, when they were coming back from the underworld, and then we start the story all over again, and it just goes like a little bit of white, and then it goes all the way back to spring again, and we start the story again, and just the lighting had so much of an impact on the show. So good. Yeah. So, do we all want to talk about our favorite songs, or are we still like on the technical unit?
Let's talk about our songs. My favorite song, I really enjoyed Epic 3. It's one of the last songs, and it's the song where Orpheus is singing to Hades and Persephone and trying to convince them to let Eurydice come back above ground with him. And it's got this really nice melody portion that's repeated, and the song continues to build and grow, and you can just feel the power like emanating from the song. And it's revealed that when you get to the end of the song that this was like a key moment and like part of what Orpheus was meant to do in life.
And like when Hades sings at the very end with Orpheus, it just like that was Hades' song, and just like it was a full circle, and it's so cool.
And it's showing a character change in Hades, which is never thought possible.
Mm-mm. Wait, and today was like your first... Oh, I can't with you. She handed me a foam or a rubber construction hat. Today was your first time hearing the original cast. Like, what did you think?
I really liked it. When I was watching the tour, I was in the back of the listening because
Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed just like being able to hear all the different parts of the melody together and the build and the very clear vocals and everything, that it just felt powerful.
Right.
Right. And just for background context on the three of us, I, as Allie, have a very well understanding of Hadestown. I've listened to it for at least a year, and I've watched bootlegs, and then we saw the touring
Shame!
cast, and then
you watch
Sam,
bootlegs productions of shows on YouTube? Who does that?
and then Sam, what is your background context?
I have also been listening to it probably, just as long as her. Yeah, around the same time, because I listened to it, and then like a few weeks later you would listen to it. Like you had heard about it from another friend.
Right.
But Allie and I kind of constantly fangirl, and we both just recently saw the show together. So that's fun. I also watch bootlegs. Anyways, Martin, what's your experience
my
with
first experience
Hadestown?
of the show was when they were just touring, and I'd heard about it because the drama cast at my school went to go see it. And I had previously heard about the concept, and I'm a big jazz fan, so I thought it was a really cool concept for a musical, and so I was down to see it and went to go see it with my friend. That was the first time I saw it. Was
You have friends?
shocking, I know. I went to go see it at the performance, and it was really good.
I think it kind of felt like bad, but like the drama kids wouldn't shut up. Like the environment after seeing Hadestown was a whole different environment, because we were all just shouting about Hadestown, and Martin's over here like, so I guess they're all talking about the show?
But yeah, nobody expects Hadestown to be as good as it is. And then once they see it, they fall in love with it, because
It's so good.
how amazing the original story was and how it's adapted to fit our society today.
And just like the concept of like they literally, like Hermes literally says at the beginning, it's a sad song, it's a tragedy, but we're gonna tell it again because maybe it's going to turn out this time. And the incredible art of the end, like Allie and I were fangirling over this the other day, how you get so close, there's a rise in the music, like you don't even expect it by the end, and he just turns and it's like
It's all over.
and we start over again.
And then it starts over again with the reprise, and then you just listen to the soundtrack or watch it again if you can.
Yeah. Okay, what's your favorite song, Allie?
I have many favorite songs, but some of the few, for context, if you've never heard of Hadestown or listened to it, the whole musical is sound like it's one whole big song broken into small songs. There's really no dialogue in between songs. It's very similar to Hamilton that way, if you get that reference. But I really love a song called...
I'm just kidding.
I really love a song called "Wait for Me." I almost said "Wait for It" because I Hamilton. No, I really love "Wait for Me" because it's just such a beautiful song, and how it was made, and how the emotions that it gave you when you're watching it is just amazing. And then there's a reprise of that when Orpheus and Eurydice are trying to come back up, and when they're trying to come back up to the overworld, like Earth,
Yeah.
And they're trying to call to each other to make sure that they're still both alive and well. I really love Doubt comes in as well, just because of how sad of a song it is, because Orpheus starts to not trust Eurydice and starts to not trust the agreement that he's made with Hades.
And you can hear the doubts echoing in his head.
You can hear the doubts and the
and they
fates.
seem real.
The way Reeve Carney does this is that he can hit those high notes so well, and the way he does it in this song, he's still hitting them, but you can hear this like brokenness in his voice and this doubt and this fear, and he just executes that so well.
Right, and Reeve Carney was the original Orpheus on the original cast. But like I said, once again, how it still fits to society today. And yeah, many more songs. All the songs.
Sam, what was your favorite song?
Honestly, I have to agree with her. Probably Wait For Me and Wait For Me Reprise.
What's the context for Wait For Me again?
Okay, so the first Wait For Me, he comes out.
It's the one with the lanterns that are like swinging.
Yeah.
That one.
In case anyone's like listening and they like actually haven't heard it but they still want to listen, the context for Wait For Me is Orpheus comes out and he's just like, where's Eurydice? And the original narrator, Hermes, who is also kind of like a father figure to Orpheus, kind of gives him a little guilt trip and is like, you weren't really listening to her. And he's like, but I want to go. Like, I'd literally do anything for this girl. So he basically runs. He gets directions. Sorry, I just saw someone run past. He gets directions from Hermes and he goes to the underworld. Wait For Me Reprise is when he's leaving the underworld with Eurydice. So they're both singing Wait For Me.
And another background context to the whole musical is that throughout this whole time, on Earth, the world is failing because Persephone brings spring to the world. It brings the nature to the world in the summer. So when she's pulled her agreement with Hades, because she fell in love with Hades a long time ago, so her agreement was to be on Earth for half of the year and then be in hell for half of the year, which is where the seasons come from. It comes from the love of the gods. And so when she's above, the whole world is amazing. It's bright. It's beautiful.
World came back to life. Okay.
And but every time that she goes back to hell, which is increasingly becoming longer times compared to the time that she's on Earth, the world turns cold and dark and everybody's starving and nobody has food, and it's just everybody's like on the brink of death. So Orpheus is trying to create a song that replicates what Persephone can do, and this whole time he's creating this song, which he got from when he was a child or something, just a melody, and he's creating a song this whole time, and he got so lost in creating a song that he didn't hear Eurydice, and so that's a little bit of back.
I think I just lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness.
And in Epic 3, when he's singing the song to Hades and Persephone, like, that's when he finally completes the song. It's his life's work is completed. He's finally set out and done the thing that he's supposed to do.
And it's so beautifully done, too.
Instagram. Now.
I think
300 cabas.
no. The other thing that's really cool about it, well, like, cool that you see the rough patches between Persephone and Hades, as Persephone's gone, Hades is starting to create like this world in the underworld where he's creating factories. He's building walls to keep other people out. He's filling the underworld with like an immense amount of light. He's making it so hot and miserable, and she finally is just like, I'm done with this, like, because that wasn't originally him. And so he's like, fine, I'll go find someone else who will appreciate me.
Oh, we can't get into that right
Oh,
now.
we can't. Oh, we should do it. We should someday. But like, that's the whole thing. Is it this show just has so many like, just the parallels between the lovers, and this show is so cool. Like, Wedding Song and Chant are like
Completely opposite songs.
but even like the author said, they're supposed to, like, Chant is supposed to be a darker inversion of Wedding Song, and it's just so cool. Yeah, I think the other fun thing is that as you get into Hadestown more and do your research, it's kind of incredible to see the progression of how this show developed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the original creator of it started like way back in 2006 in her small town, and she just continued working on it, and got ideas from just the people around her and the experiences that she had with her boyfriend. And it slowly built the musical. And then she had to move to bigger fish, to a bigger ocean. And
I like spaced out for 2 seconds and I said, what about fish?
she had to go to a bigger ocean to really display this beautiful creation that she made and came to Broadway. And then the original cast members helped develop and shape the musical as a whole.
Yeah, because it started as an album and then it became an off-Broadway show, and then we got the like original cast of Broadway that we have, and it's just so incredible.
I'm going with the musical. It does a really good job of representing the time period it's supposed to represent. It shows the influence of jazz on society, but also the way Hades' underworld is formatted. He formats it like it's an early 20th century factory, and the souls of the damned are the ones working in the factory. And like that's a nice like take on like what was actually happening during the period, because like a lot of people would be working their lives away, and it was torture to work in factories. And that's a nice similarity between the musical and the actual time period it's based off of.
Like you just saying that reminded me that my other favorite song is I'm sorry I had to. If It's True, you know, when he's just like in the underworld and they can all hear his despair because he can't get Eurydice back, but they're all working and he's just spilling his heart out, and they're all like, wait a minute, we don't have to do this. We shouldn't have to do this. And it's so impactful.
And it's another nice tell to the period it's based off of.
Yeah. It's so good. This whole show is so good. I told you we'd get like crazy at the end. Okay. Any last thoughts, or are we good?
Well, yeah, you should go like listen to the Hadestown soundtrack or watch it.
For sure. Familiar
It's
yourself with it.
really good. But yeah, that's
And then write in the comments what you thought.
yeah.
Right. And we're going to be reacting to and showing, displaying, and describing the first act and then the second act.
Hopefully sometime soon.
Sometime soon.
And we'll be using little clips from YouTube that we can find. And
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hopefully.
so stay tuned for that, and give us ideas.
You should check out our YouTube channels.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be linked in the description.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. Do we want to go around and say them real fast
No.
before we?
Bye.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.